Hi.
It's happening.
It's happening now. I'm still making my list, but I'm going to put my headphones on in just a second.
Yeah. You're pretty busy.
Yeah, well, I'm just a harried lady. Okay, hold on. Which way is up on these?
The upside goes
Give me
up.
back my phone. No, but which... This one doesn't have an L and an R. Probably doesn't matter. Maybe it doesn't matter. There we go.
It probably does matter.
I will pre-apologize for the outbursts that my children may make at some point while we're on the phone because they are both here with me. It's school vacation, the last day of school vacation.
No, we still have 2 more days.
Well, the weekend. I'm not counting the weekend.
That's short.
It is short. My cords are short today.
Yeah.
Eli, what are you doing with my phone?
It's very short. Short.
Scram.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey. Courtney said to disinfect this windscreen because she's sick.
I'm sick too.
But I don't care.
Again. Although not as bad as last time. Remember when I coughed the entire show one time?
Yeah.
I have no cough right now.
So
I just have a stuffy nose.
Scared of germs. I like to bring them on.
Bring on the germs.
Get stronger.
Boosting your immune system.
Yes. So.
Welcome to 11th Hour Radio, everybody. Coming to you live every Friday at 11 a.m. with Kristina, Stykos, and Emily Howe from Royalton Community Radio, WFVR LP 96.5.
Great. And I have a question for everybody this morning. The question is, Starship.
Jefferson Starship.
Oh, Jefferson Starship. That's not William Shatner, but it's as close as we might get today. Okay, so the question is, did you have clouds in your coffee this morning? And not
I don't drink coffee.
I knew. Do you think that I didn't anticipate that that was the first thing you were going to say?
Are you talking to my small child?
No, I'm talking to like everybody.
Oh, what does that mean? Like when they put cream in? See, I don't drink coffee, so I don't even know what it is you're talking about.
I saw John's coffee today. I didn't really see anything in it because it was sitting on the counter for a few hours. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's one of those people who makes coffee and then is rushing around and forgets to drink it.
Good answer.
He also forgot his name tag and his government ID, so I don't know how he's going to get buzzed in on the doors today, I noticed.
Don't they know him up there?
They should, but you have to have this little, key code thing to go places, secret places, especially.
You have to swipe it in this thing right next to the door, so it lets you in.
But we actually used it. We swiped it in a super, super secret place this week. Where did we go, Era?
We went in this mile-long tunnel underneath the State House to this other...
How long?
Thing.
Quarter?
Third of a mile.
Oh, a third.
It felt way longer than that. It's like the secret governor's tunnel that connects all the buildings along State Street so the governor can come and go.
Are there different places that it goes to?
Yeah.
Or does it just go to one place?
No, it starts on the tax building, I think. Maybe did it go before the tax building, or was that where it starts? It starts there. I thought it must pop up in the State House somewhere, but I don't know where because we didn't stop there. And then it goes to the Supreme Court, and then it goes to the governor's office in the pavilion.
Wow.
But it's creepy. It's long and claustrophobic, and there's drippy water leaking down in it.
And when you're at one door, you can't see the other door, so it's kind of scary.
Ooh, that sounds exciting.
Ira and I are both claustrophobic, so we were just kind of walking super fast through there. But we did need John's special super secret key code to get into it. Yeah,
and there's probably, when it starts to drip, they don't have money to fix it because times are tight. Money's tight right now.
Oh my God, it is.
So fixing tunnels is not at the top of the list.
No, I don't think the tunnel is at the top of any list. I didn't even know there was a tunnel. I thought it was just a myth, but there is a tunnel.
There is a tunnel, yeah. Great. Okay, so let's do a winter wrap-up. I want to just have a sense of, if you...
Is it not winter? It's still kind of winter at our house, but Ira, don't do that.
Not here. Man,
here is... Did Courtney said they have to evacuate all the lower parking lots because it's going to be closed because of the potential flooding later tonight.
Yeah. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how was your winter?
Oh, well, which part, what are we scaling?
We can split it into 2 scales.
It was a rough winter.
Okay, so the first scale is emotional, and the second scale is productivity and functionality.
No, okay, all these are going to be super low.
Okay, so
if we divided it into okay, the only awesome thing was we skied like every single minute, and that was awesome. All the skiing time was awesome.
Yeah, that looked pretty awesome.
Like, that was the one thing that kept me going all winter. The emotional and productivity one, that's like as low as you can get. I did nothing productive. Well, I took care of the farm, but for my to-do list, my own personal stuff that I wanted to get done this winter, not any of it got done. Nothing.
Yeah, so functionality was high, but productivity, according to your,
well, I don't even know if functionality was that high. I mean, I functioned with all the...
You gave birth to lambs.
Yes, out of my own uterus. That was very functional of me.
Well, I just felt like it was you going through it.
It felt like it was me sometime.
You, get it? It was you.
I do get it. Hardy, hard.
Oh, gosh.
You just made like a dad joke.
I'm sorry.
Or a popsicle stick joke.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Well, what
about yours?
Well, I'd say emotionally, it was probably at 5. I would say...
So you're clocking in a little higher than mine. That's good.
Yours was above...
You're a more stable person than I am, though.
No,
so if we take that into account...
No, that's because people don't see me.
No.
If you don't...
Like, whenever we're having one of those panicky chats online, like, you are the one who talks me off the edge, not the other way around.
I'm the voice of reason.
You're like, boo, I'm sad. And then I'm like, oh... Who cares? Let me tell you why I'm so sad. Like, and then we just...
That's my strategy for feeling okay about myself is like, if you're feeling worse, then I feel a little bit better.
Then I guess
I think so.
Our friendship does work that
way.
It
does work. Okay, it balances out. Yeah. So you said what emotionally were you?
I was pretty low.
Like, but below a 5.
Yeah.
Really? A 4?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was 4 to 5.
I would maybe be a 3. I mean, I wasn't like,
because
suicidal or anything. I was just really depressed and feeling like I got nothing done and annoyed at everyone in the world and feeling super trapped.
But if you averaged in all those ski trips, like
I know that would bring it way up because those were 10s. So if we had an epic ski year.
Yeah, so I think it averaged out because I felt like every time you took a dive, you just came back up to the peaks again, literally. You came back to the top of the mountain and you were just like filled with joy and health. So that's one good factor for skiing, for sure.
Yeah. I highly recommend to people, if you want to survive through what we had at our house was, I mean, we're not done with our snow yet. We still have it. So, I mean, not everywhere. It is starting to go in the big expanses, which is good. But it's still deep in the woods. It's still...
Yeah, back of the house.
You're still pretty, your feet are going to sink over your boots anywhere else. Yeah. But, so we had 7 months of that. That's more than half the year. If you're gonna live in Vermont in a place that gives you 7 months of hellish winter, you better take up skiing because it makes you happy.
And skiing, I'd say, can just be cross country skiing across your yard.
Yeah, we didn't do any of that this year, but
that's for people who don't really kind of take to the downhill thing.
No, but remember next year you are. We already decided that, and I'm gonna finish teaching you how to.
Yes.
Although you know how to ski, but we're gonna eke you upward until
we're gonna get my confidence. We're gonna get the right equipment. Yes. Adjust that.
Yes. You know what? In fact, your foot size. I went to an amazing ski sale a while ago, and I bought Ira and John are our only skiers. Eli and I are boarders, but. I bought Ira all his equipment for the next 3 years because it was such a good...
Wow.
So I just estimated his sizes. So his bigger size ski boots would fit you. And I have a pair of skis that I don't use that are nice shaped skis. So I'm going to put you on those next year. It's all set and ready to go.
All right. Okay.
And shaped skis, the new types of skis they have now, Kristina,
yeah, they look fantastic.
They turn themselves. All you have to do is vaguely lean.
Yeah, because I don't want to have to work too hard.
No.
Yeah. So productivity, I'd say I had maybe a 9.
You did amazing stuff. You pumped out albums for people and yourself, and everything was going on for you there.
Right.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's funny. I didn't feel better.
I know. Well,
but I had my highs. You get your high points when you get a good review, and then you feel high for a little while.
Yep.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Oh goodness.
Yeah. I got this great review recently. This is so funny. Let's see. I gotta get the exact quote because I don't want to wreck this. Where is it? It's a reviewer from Holland. Actually,
Holland,
No, actually Belgium.
Oh.
Because, I'm big
For
in Europe.
years, I thought Belgium ended with an N, like Belgian. Like Belgian.
Oh, like the horses, because you grew up with draft horses.
right.
That's
or,
why.
Or like, which is the waffle?
What? Belgian waffles?
That's an N too, right?
What-
Where did that word come from?
What is a Belgian waffle? I don't even know.
Belgian waffles, I think, are just puffier, like fluffier.
Really?
Did you know? Here's a little recipe secret. If you make waffles and the recipe calls for like water, you can put seltzer water instead or sparkling water, and it makes your waffles super puffy with like little air pockets in them, and they're so delicious. That's what they do
Whoa.
at restaurants. You know why like waffle
Really?
restaurant waffles are so much better?
That would be expensive.
Ira, you can take this, but you can't take this.
Except they probably have a seltzer machine.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't buy all that seltzer for
Well,
pancakes.
You could
I
have
don't
a
think
soda
so.
stream. You could just
Well, that's what
carbonate your batter.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, soda stream. You can't carbonate batter.
Well, you might be able to. There might be a way.
Well, it's an idea. You can certainly put maple syrup in it.
All right, you tell me your thing. Well, I put my microphone down for a
Okay,
minute 'cause I gotta plug this in.
Yeah, so what my reviews are in different languages. So this one was in Dutch, so I had to go to Google Translate. My good friend Google Translate, and it's always interesting. I mean, I have a sort of love-hate relationship with Google Translate because it takes you about halfway there, So anyway, so this was pretty good. It was
We made
definitely.
a whole movie using Google Translate.
Did you? Did you have to
our
tweak it?
l'abduction fakey
Yeah, but-
French sci-fi movie? Every bit of that script was from Google Translate and all completely
Was it all in French?
inaccurate.
But it
as
was
well.
it was a humorous film.
Yeah,
So
I mean, luckily it was a
bad
comedy, so the bad
translations were-
translations worked fine.
Yeah, I
And when
can't.
we ran out of things to say, my sister just muttered "Cirque du Soleil" a few times.
Oh, that's awesome. Well,
Anyway, sorry, continue.
Here's the best quote.
Okay.
This is the strangest quote that came out of this review, which ended on a high point, but in the middle it says, according to Google Translate, quote, and I quote, "Kristina is a nature woman with poetic balls in her body." Poetic balls in her body?
I think they mean bones. I think they
Oh,
mean
is that what it
bones.
was?
Yeah.
I was curious, like, how that might have translated from something incorrectly, or did he actually mean that? You know, like-
I don't know.
That's
If you
Anyway,
had
so that
balls, do
was-
you feel like they'd be poetic? Probably.
sure. Why not? That's a
People
nice thing
attribute
to-
all kinds of qualities to their balls. So, you're my child.
This is a great
My
topic.
child just gave me a disgusted look.
Yeah, I was the one that brought it up.
We saw a moose yesterday.
No,
Oh, really?
this is ridiculous. Okay, so we're
Does that
My-
relate to
my-
the balls?
my
A
sweet,
sighting
sweet-
of moose balls, maybe.
kind of, yeah.
Okay.
My very sweet grandpa Avery is on his way out, and so the whole family has been hanging out at the hospital, making his last days nice or really loud. I don't know which, but at one point, who saw the moose first, Ira? My Aunt Dawn got really excited because she looks out the window and she says, and so Grandpa's at Morgan Orchards, which is in Randolph with that beautiful big view.
Oh, yeah.
It's way up above like the interstate exit and entrance ramps. But anyway, and Grandpa's been here for years and years, and my grandmother also lives right across the way in the independent living building. So we looked out these windows forever, and my Aunt Dawn sees this thing, and she says, "Oh my God, it's a moose!" And everyone gets out.
Looked at it with binoculars.
Everyone gets out binoculars. Everyone's really excited. My great aunt Laura said, "I've never seen a moose," and she's so excited. She thinks she's seen her first moose. Everyone watches it with binoculars. It doesn't seem to be moving.
Then Grandpa, Eli, and I drove.
So
down
then everyone, I send my camera with my dad and my sons in the road. So they're going to go down and drive closer to this moose and see what it's up to, like why it's been hanging out there all day. Everyone had an opinion. Maybe it's been hit by a car, or maybe it's giving birth. Like, why is it just staying here? And everybody in the room was completely distracted by
I
this
thought
moose.
it was a rock.
Anyway, they drive down, and it's a giant root ball that's been there for years and years, and everyone's seen it a million times. But doesn't it look like Ira's showing a picture to Kristina when they drove by what it looks like?
To me, it looks like a heifer lying down.
Right.
Sort of, with
Yeah.
a stripe.
But it's just funny
Possibly.
because for years we've probably seen it, and nobody wanted to, when they came back, nobody wanted to tell my Aunt Laura that it wasn't really a moose because she was so excited that she thought she'd seen her first moose, so we just fibbed
So that's
Doubt
the
it.
connection. Root ball. Right? That's why he said, because I was talking
I
about
don't know why he said that. Why
poetic
did you s-
balls, and he said he went to root ball. That makes sense to me.
Okay, good.
That's free associating. It's one of my favorite pastimes.
We have a game called, what's that game called, you guys? Is it called Connect? No. Connect? Something like that. It's just a game that has all these little cardboard discs with pictures on them, like 100 of them, and you deal them out in equal numbers to all the players, and then one gets put in the center, and then you have to free associate. You have to take one of your pictures and match it to that with whatever reason you can, and everybody has to agree if that is okay or not. Like, say it's a monkey, so you put down like a hippopotamus and say, well, I'm putting this down because they're both animals or whatever.
Oh.
So you just keep kind of, there's lots of ways you can do it. You could be like,
Obscure
it's a key,
connections.
and here's a roller skate that they both are things that I had in my grandmother's house. Like, you can,
Okay.
it's a
You
cool,
can
it's a
stretch
cool
it.
game. It's a game that you can make lots of different rules up for.
And you tell stories as you
Yes,
go.
and you can tell stories. That's another one of the things. You can lay everything out in a line and then make up a story using the pictures as you go. It's a really cool game
Wow.
that uses a lot of
I like
imagination.
that.
What are
I
you
like
doing,
that
Ira?
game. Okay. He's zooming in.
I get nervous when my kids are holding my cameras and phones and things. Don't take my picture. You're like right 1 inch away from me. My nose is going to look like a mountain.
I think the whole point, I think we got a little sidetracked on balls.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Sorry.
I meant to
Your
say
review
courage.
is-
I meant to say courage. Courage is what we're talking about.
Oh,
when we,
yeah.
when we
Maybe
talk
that's
about
what they-
balls, it's metaphysical and it means courage.
Maybe
right?
that's what
It's
they
at least
meant.
it's like fortitude and courage.
It's really hard to figure out what someone from Holland meant by balls.
Well, I'm gonna ask somebody else to translate it, possibly.
That's a good idea. Who speaks Holland? I mean, Dutch.
speaks
Oh my
Dutch?
God! Ira zoomed in on my eyeball, and it's creepy.
Ooh, creepy, hairy eyeball. Oh, that's wow! It's just like it's not even the whole eye; it's just
You
the
got like
center
my
part.
pupil.
Yeah,
Huh, my camera is better than I thought it was.
yeah.
Okay, can you put that down now? Because you're making me kind of nervous.
Well, that's kind of all I had to say about that. Except he did say something good at the end
What?
of the review. He said this is the best Americana folk album of the century. So that was pretty good. So I'm willing to put up with some.
Some ball talk.
Yeah.
Ira, stop taking close-up pictures of my facial features.
He's not stopping. Is
I
it?
know.
You
No,
don't,
he
you don't
doesn't
have much
listen to me.
control over your kids, do you?
Not today. I'm letting them eat donuts and sugary juices.
Yeah, because it's vacation.
I just didn't have the energy. We went, what were we doing, you guys? The day that I got lost, what were we doing?
Where'd you get lost?
Yeah, this is a ridiculous story.
Well, the time you took the wrong highway this weekend, or the time you lost us in the woods?
Yeah, I got lost multiple times this week.
Wow.
I have a head cold, and I guess I have noticed this sort of that my capacity for thinking just diminishes when I have a head cold, which shouldn't really be, but it does. It feels like I have like old wool, moldy socks for brain. I don't know. So we went to VTC swimming in the pool, and then is that what we did?
Yes.
And then I randomly got on the wrong way on the interstate. I don't mean going. I don't mean like cars were coming at
But
me.
going like south instead of north.
Yeah,
or-
so all of a sudden,
Yeah,
and
that
this
happens.
is
I
frickin'
understand.
Vermont, so you
Yeah.
have to drive 16 miles before.
Right.
So I'm like, oh my God, now we have to drive to Northfield
Yeah.
before I can turn around.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
So that was horrible.
That's really tough.
Then what happened?
You know what happened. That's-
Tell us what happened, Eli. Do you want to tell us?
Oh yes. So then, we almost missed the exit for Northfield,
Oh yeah.
and then so we got off the interstate, and
There's no signs. There's no signage.
No.
Vermont people whoever runs the Vermont roads just thinks like, oh, Vermonters just know where to go.
No, there's too many signs.
No,
Come on.
well, there isn't off the Northfield exit. There's just a sign that says like 14 in like two different directions. And by this time, I'm totally twisted around. I don't know which way. And I'm like, I don't know which way to go.
Okay.
It's 14 both ways. I don't know.
Yeah.
Where's the next interstate entrance going to be? Do I go left? Do I go right? So, of course, I picked the wrong way because every time there's a choice for me to pick, I pick the wrong way.
the wrong way. Then we
Drive the wrong way.
Yeah. High
whatever.
pressure. High pressure.
And then the next day, we had to wait. John had a very short day at the State House, so we went with him and did some fun stuff in the morning because there was a funeral. So he didn't have to be on the floor until later. And then we decided, well, John's in session, we will walk around in Hubbard Park, which is this lovely park in Montpelier, which I have been to before, but I've never walked to it from the State House. So
I bet there's still snow up there.
yes, but well, I don't know because we never
Oh, you didn't
technically
didn't
found
make
it.
it.
We found a park, but later
It's
I
hard-
found out
it's
I
hard
think
to
it was just
find
someone's
an
yard.
entrance.
We hiked around in someone's backyard.
Yeah, the entrances to Hubbard Park are pretty interesting.
Well, there
you
was
had
a,
to
it
find
was a
the
stone
right
arch.
street.
We went through a stone arch, and I was like, "Yeah,
Okay.
this looks right." But then we were hiking around in
Somebody's
like private
yard.
people's backyards, and
You
I
sounds
said,
like you left the park. Maybe
No, we
you
never-
were in it, and you
once
left
I came back and asked some people where the heck I had gone, the park was in a totally opposite direction than
Oh.
we had been hiking.
Man,
So
We were,
that's
like,
interesting.
we were on like a couple public hiking trails, though.
yeah, there were
Oh.
hiking. There were like dog walking trails where we were, but it wasn't Hubbard Park. So
Okay,
anyway, so we got lost there again.
fun,
But
fun.
yeah.
Time for song.
Oh, good.
Yeah, unless you had something else to say about that.
No.
Did you have a wrap up on that?
No, not really.
Okay. All right. Here's a song called Thunderheads by Mark Strusacker. Here we go.
Big old rolling thunderhead coming down the line. Big old rolling thunderhead weighing on my mind. Weighing on my mind. I'm thinking that we're doing fine, but I don't even know. And then she says I'm leaving you, and she's all packed to go. She's all packed to go. Big old rolling thunderhead coming down the line. Big old rolling thunderhead weighing on my mind. Weighing on my mind. It's sunny in the morning and cloudy at supper time. When you hear that big old thunder roll, well, baby, you're out of time. Baby, you're out of time. Well, big old rolling thunderhead running down the line. Big old rolling thunderhead weighing on my mind. Weighing on my mind. Big old rolling thunderhead coming down the line. Big old rolling thunderhead weighing on my mind. Weighing on my mind.
Just missed the train.
Yep. Kristina was panicking because she was.
Well, I was hoping to fade out of the song into the train whistle,
Whoa.
but it didn't quite work.
That would have been pretty high tech.
Well, life didn't allow for it.
Nope.
It wasn't my fault.
No. I just saw something that. When do fawns get born? Is it about time for fawns to get born? No, they come in June, right?
Do I look like somebody who knows like facts and figures about wildlife?
No, you have the woods in your balls, so I thought, or whatever.
Yeah, but not the facts and figures.
Oh, well, I just saw a thing from the natural, whatever people resource. I don't know.
Natural
So
Resources
people always
Defense
think
Council.
that fawns are abandoned because people are always coming across fawns, like laying
Yes.
places. Okay,
Yes, that's true.
and you're really not supposed to
Yes.
mess with them because fawns' mothers very purposely don't stay right with them. They never do because they
Right.
don't. They're throwing the scent off, and they're around in the woods, but they're not right there. And their fawns have been told to stay there. So when you pick them up and take them away, you're screwing with nature. But anyway, they said if you see a fawn and its ears are just straight, the fawn is totally fine. Like, don't touch it. Leave it completely alone.
Ears are straight.
Ears are
Up,
straight.
Straight up.
Fawn is great.
Okay, good.
Ears are curled, fawn's alone in this world. So if the ears...
Did you just make that up?
No, it's what they said on the site. I'll show you. I'll
That's
even show you
poetic.
a picture of what the fawns look like when they're in distress. So little fawns, if they haven't eaten in several days, like which means that they're orphaned or their mother is dead and they haven't been fed, that is... I know, that rhymes. Their ears curl like that from dehydration. That means the fawn is in distress. Oh, here's the picture.
Okay.
See, ears are straight, fawn is great. Ears are curled, fawn alone in the world. So see the picture, Kristina? See the fawn that has the ears straight and then the fawn that has the ears all curled up like little wrinkled leaves.
Oh, at the very tips. Just it's like the top. It's like an elf shoe,
Yes.
right? Because elves have
I just
that
want
little
to tell
curl.
people that before they start walking in the woods and picking up random fawns.
Okay.
Just don't do that.
All right. Don't pick up random fawns. You heard it here first on 11th Hour Radio.
Oh, I got to plug that back in, Eli.
Yeah. Well, that makes me a little anxious.
You were planning on picking up a
I
lot
just
of
don't want,
fawns?
I don't want to get in trouble. Especially, I don't want to get in trouble. I'm already in trouble.
You're not.
I'm always in trouble. Yeah. So it turns out like the end of writing a book is a lot like the end of making an album. Like
That's the
everything,
most work.
you freak out.
Oh, yeah. You're on a
Yeah,
deadline.
it's like you're full of you get to this point where you think, well, there's two stages. Like you get to this point where you think you're done and you're like, you think it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. And then you start to it just switches on a dime and you fill with self-doubt and self-loathing and self-criticism.
You're on a deadline, too, like a real deadline, not a self-imposed one like mine, because
Yeah.
I didn't get anything done. So
Well, it's terrifying. I don't know. There's this horrible moment of truth, especially when you pass it out to anybody else. As soon as you pass it out to somebody else,
that's when
then
you know.
Start
That's when you know what's bad and good.
Yeah,
as soon
and
as you give it to somebody.
I know, and even before they say anything, you
already
can
know.
sense what they're going to say. You
I
know
know.
what, and then you're like, "Oh, give it back to me because I know what you're going to say, and I'm going
Yeah.
to fix it before you can actually
so
read
weird.
it."
I wish we had that power before we handed something to somebody.
Yeah, but you actually have to hand it over for it to happen. It doesn't
know.
work. There's a certain magic.
Everyone needs a
formula.
safe hander-overer. Why
Yeah.
don't you? Do you want to hand
well,
it
I
to
did.
me?
No, I'm done with handing it.
Okay.
I picked out 3 people to write blurbs
Okay.
for me on the back.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And I had very interesting different experiences with each of them. I sort of skipped into the whole thing very blithely, and but I'm thankful to the 3 authors that stepped up and wrote blurbs for me because it caused a whole bout of re-editing basically. So
Whoa.
I just spent like 2 or 3 days just completely going through the whole thing.
Now do they have to write new blurbs?
No, it doesn't really affect what they say. I mean, because they're kind of, the third one, it might, because she precipitated like the biggest re-edit. And, I think it's better, but it was terrifying. It was really terrifying. So,
Bet. Yeah, I don't want to. I
yeah,
don't want to show anybody my
I
stuff.
hope it's okay. Somebody's going to like it.
Yeah.
I think it'll be good for
What a
kids.
silly thing.
I think, even if adults don't like it, I bet kids will like it because it's easy to read. It's like poetry that's so easy to read.
My poetry is really easy too.
Yeah, it's not about complicated ideas at all.
Nope.
I mean, on the surface, at least, you can make it more complicated if you want to, but you don't have to.
Yep.
Instead of a lot of poetry that's front-loaded with a lot of complexity that makes you work super hard, and then you stop reading it like halfway through.
Yeah.
That's how I am with most poetry.
Me too.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So don't worry about that part.
I'd never want to work.
Yeah, some of
With
these poems
poetry.
are like 4
I
short
just want
lines.
I want like a soothing, pure feeling to wash over me when I read something.
Exactly. That's
I
it.
don't want to think. I don't want to dig too deep, and I don't want to. That's kind of silly, huh? Because
Well, it's not because it's something that's
it's the
deceptive.
deep stuff that people think is quality, but I don't think so.
Right, but it's things that are
Always.
things that are sort of deceptively simple can stay with you for a long time, and their meaning can change
Well, if you
as
marry
you
the right
age.
simple words, you don't need as many.
I think so. And over time, like a good poem 10 years later is still a good poem to you, and it's a good poem because it's transformed and it has new meanings for you, but it's actually the same words on the page. So
Hey,
that's what I strive
What's
for.
that? Is it in Randolph? What's that thing? That Poem Town thing? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I never do that.
I don't even know what it is.
They hang poems up. They do it in Montpelier too. Like people submit poems and they hang them in store windows. That kind of thing.
I don't love that.
Yeah, I just don't like anything that involves other people. Like I don't know. That's just me.
I do.
I think it's a good thing. I think
That's
it's
like a little too
it's
interactive.
Exactly, but it's a good thing. And people like to read their poems out loud. I'm sure there's some of that stuff. I wouldn't be caught dead reading my poems out loud.
Nope, me neither.
It's just I'm going to actually throw the book at people and then run away as fast as I can. That's my
exactly
strategy.
how I make people read things too. I can't even be in the room or being looked at when they're reading it.
Right.
That would be horrifying.
Right. Just get in the car and go as far as you can.
Yep.
As fast as you can. So, spelling word for you.
Great.
I just used this word, so you kind of got a chance, your subconscious got a chance to work on the word.
Because that's how that works so well.
Yeah.
Okay, go.
Blithely.
Oh, psh.
What, you think you can spell it?
Blyth. Ly. No, there's an E in there somewhere. God, where is it?
I'm going to let you suffer just for a second or two.
Blythe. Okay. Lee.
Do you want a clue?
Fine.
How about a clue?
What?
Just you got to rethink the first three letters.
What?
You're thinking of scythe.
No,
It's
I'm
not
thinking
like
of
a
Gilbert
scythe.
Blythe.
That's a name.
Yeah, well, this is how you
This is
spell it.
blithely. No, it's got an I. It's B-L-I.
Blith, Mom.
Yeah, it's like blith with an E.
Okay,
Blythe.
8th grader.
Blith,
You
Blythe.
you always get 100 on your spelling test. How do you spell it?
I'm not sure. So let me see this.
All right.
Okay,
We'll see if the kid
Eli's
can do
gonna try. He's had the advantage of your failure,
it. I know.
which is how kids step on their parents'
That's right.
shoulders. And
Oh, his looks better.
how does it look? How's he spelling it?
I don't know.
I'll tell you what it means. Do you know what it means? Because I didn't even know I used it. This happens all the time. I use
Lively.
words, but I don't
it's
know.
like open and charming and cheerful.
No, it's showing lack of concern, casual. There's a lack of concern. Like you're not quite worried. Maybe you should
was, like,
be
happy.
You should possibly be worried. And I used it in reference to handing my stuff over to these other authors.
Yes,
I
I
did it
heard you.
blithely,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
What's the word?
Blithely.
Wait.
Bly.
What did you mean rethink the first three letters?
Because I was
Because
using
she
an
put
Y.
she spelled it like sly or scythe with a Y. So that's a clue. That'll get you started. I think you're going to get it with that clue. That's a pretty big one.
All right, tell us, Kristina.
Blithely. Blithely.
You're
Right? Were you close?
Yeah, he was the closest.
Yeah.
He just switched his L and his E around. But
Yeah, like
we were-
lonely. Lonely's like that. It's so confusing. Or toilet. I's and E's just are such a mess. E before
I know.
I before E except after C. That helps
and
me
in lots,
constantly.
except for in lots of other
That
things.
does not work. That never works.
No,
It
it does
works
work quite a
sometimes.
bit of the
There's
time.
So many things
Neighbor.
that it doesn't work, and
Really?
Way.
Conceive.
there's just so many things that it doesn't work.
Receive.
if you-
is receive I or E.
It's
is
I
when I
before
always get
E
back.
works a lot for me. Maybe it's like doesn't work for some people.
I think
tends
receive,
to
even
work
though
for
that's
me.
a C,
There's tons
I
of
think you
things
have
it
to.
doesn't.
I think you switch. Wait, God. And
The
neighbor.
English language should probably just
neighbor.
not.
No, wait, that has
be
no
allowed.
C in it. I before E except after C. But what's the rest of the rhyme? There's like a bazillion more verses to that rhyme because. What are you doing, child?
Curiosity killed the
What?
cat.
No, my phone is charging. 'Cause
What
it's dead.
brought back the cat? I forget. I always forget what brought back.
Well, it has
Curiosity
9
killed the cat.
lives. It has 9 lives, so
Curiosity
it brings
killed the
itself
cat.
back.
No, but something brought it back. There's actually a word that goes in there, and I always forget it.
Eli.
Maybe it'll come back to me. Let's talk about Pearl Jam.
I love Pearl Jam.
See, I just discovered Pearl Jam like 2 days ago. How did I miss
Eddie
Pearl?
Vedder is so your kind of guy.
how
Like
did-
you would be into him.
How did I miss Pearl Jam? What decade was that?
I don't know.
I stopped listening to music like in the
Eli,
90s.
Go to YouTube and get Pearl Jam's "Breathe." It's like my favorite song.
Yeah, I totally missed it. So there's this great song called Wish List.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the one that my friend in British Columbia, my Facebook friend,
I still have to make you the CD of all the music that you missed.
Yeah, because he sent me YouTube videos, of music, and it's really my song list. It's it's all I listen to because he just sends me this stuff, and and he's educating me.
Nice.
But from a Canadian angle, which is great.
Super
It's just more intelligent somehow. The lyrics are better in Canada, generally speaking. They're not as contrived. They're not so precious. My precious.
My precious.
Yeah. So, Emily, would
Kristina.
you be happier? This is a
If
philosophical question. Well,
If my nose isn't running down my chin right now, yes.
Well, I know you don't like space.
Nope.
Would you be happier if you found out there wasn't any space?
Sure.
You would?
Sure.
Okay.
Well, I kind of want it to be there. I just don't want it to. I don't want to be thinking about it.
Could you explain it just a
I think
little
if I
bit
found out
more?
there wasn't any space, I'd feel very claustrophobic. Like, this is it, this little bubble that we're here.
Well, is it
on
just
Earth.
is it just like too much? Is space too big?
No,
If we could
I'm glad it's
reduce it-
out there. I just don't want to talk about it or deal with it very much.
Why? I just
don't
want to get
know.
to the root of this because it really it wakes me up at
scares me.
night.
What is that movie? What's that movie that Sandra Bullock is in where she gets unhooked from her little space capsule and
Is that
floats
it?
away into this?
Is
It's
that
so
it?
scary.
You are
It's
afraid of
just
that
floating away into the abyss, and then eventually your head explodes. I don't really want that to happen to me.
With a spacesuit or without?
She's with it, so she's got to be alive for a little while, just floating away.
So she's gonna die in her spacesuit. Is that it? Is it a fear of dying in a spacesuit?
Yeah, I'm sure that's it.
Okay.
I found some words that have an exception to the I before E rule.
Okay.
Like neighbor, way, beige, and rain, as in
Beige?
rain,
Beige?
kingdom. Yeah.
Oh, but maybe it's a second syllable thing because I always use it when it's the second syllable, like receive. That's when I think of that.
I can never get niece right.
Beige.
Every time I
okay.
type in niece, it tells me I'm wrong, and I don't even know which way it is now.
I guess beige is just an annoyance all the way around. You know what? We've talked about
You
beige
don't love-
before.
yeah,
I hate
you
beige.
hate beige.
I mean, it's a concept. It's just wrong. So it's no wonder that it's plaguing Eli.
You know what?
It's plaguing
People
me
spell
now.
niece so often wrong that. So when I go on Instagram, often if I'm taking a picture of my niece,
I'm spelling it wrong both ways.
I do hashtag niece.
You know,
and
it's-
equal amounts of nieces pull up for hashtag niece, like I before E or E before I.
that's like
So I don't
it's
know
like-
which one it is.
You know what it
Who's
is?
the
This
dumb
is
one?
it. It's like sticking the flash drive in, and you do it one way, and the first time it never works, and
Right,
then you
gotta
flip it
flip it
over, and you
around.
put it in, and it doesn't work the second
That's because
time.
you've jammed it in the wrong direction.
No, it's not. It's always the third time it goes in. That doesn't make sense.
The correct way to spell niece is I before E.
Are
Okay.
you sure? Because I swear I start that way.
Just use the all-knowing internet.
Yeah, look at niece with
All
an
right,
E.
put my
It
phone
looks
down.
bad.
You
It looks
little
like
screen goblin. It does look bad. It looks bad any way you spell it. Maybe nieces should just be outlawed.
Well,
I only have one. Whatever.
we can't get rid of everything like that we don't like.
Why not?
Well, because it's more complicated. It's always more complicated because just like you said, if we got rid of space, that wouldn't solve your problem.
I know.
Now that we've sort of
I can't get
identified
to the
what
bottom.
your
I don't know
problem is.
I can't get to the bottom why I don't like it.
You don't
I don't
think it's
really
about
like
the space
Under
suit?
the Sea either. Remember, we were reading National
So
Geographic
it's a lack
magazine?
of air. It's plasma. It's
It is a lack of air.
It's a
Yeah.
vacuum. You don't
Yeah.
like places because
where I can't breathe.
okay. So it has to do with lung capacity.
Sure. Yeah.
Not enough lung capacity to exist everywhere.
And it's
And that is a problem for humans.
Yep. Yep. It is.
It is a flaw. It's a design flaw that we can't go into space and breathe or under the ocean.
I know. Well, mermaids can. Apparently.
Are they human?
They're like descendant from human. How do they breathe anyway?
Wait,
they
who
have
came
noses.
first, mermaids
Why
or
do they have
humans?
noses
You're saying-
if they're living under the water? Because everything else under the water has gills. So
Why do you... Well, but
tell me
God's...
this: how do mermaids pee or breathe? Or I mean, not
I don't
breathe.
think peeing's a
breed.
problem.
I meant breed.
Breed?
They like
they
okay, where's
breed?
their parts is what I'd like to know because they just have a tail.
Because they can turn into humans.
Well, they don't.
They don't have to breed down there. They don't have to have any equipment, and they don't.
When they're on land, they have like legs.
That's it.
They don't come out on
Yes,
the
they do.
beach to spawn like those little
Yes,
fish.
they do. All the.
What are those fish?
Have
Grunion.
you watched Pirates of the Caribbean?
What about the Little Mermaid? It's an old fairy tale.
But her parents bred, and they didn't come out of the water. In fact, they warned her against it. Nobody's supposed to come out of the water.
But that's an ancient tale of truth.
Okay.
And the truth is that a mermaid...
Well, how do fish breed? I actually don't know. Oh, wait, they lay eggs, and then another one comes along. They don't actually touch each other.
Yeah.
Okay, and maybe it's just like that.
But if you have any half of a human, like a Pegasus, for example, you could... a Pegasus has...
well, they have like a horse butt. I've seen horses breed. I know how that works. So... Okay. You better play some music.
I gotta go to a song because I just got confused about that. I thought I could make a direct parallel between mermaids and Pegasus, but it didn't quite work.
I know where the Pegasus's parts are.
I wish there was more consistency in the
Mythical
world.
beasts.
Well,
really,
everywhere.
yeah.
So, okay, the next
What
song.
about griffins?
What
They're like
about-
a
what
bird,
about
and
griffins?
birds just squish their little.
No, they're
No, they're
dragon.
lion.
They're
What?
Aren't griffins like bird and lion combined or something?
Yeah, but I think
like
that they
Sphinx.
have. I think they have a bird bottom, right?
Sphinx is a half a pyramid, right? Oh no,
Sphinx
not
is like a
Sphinxes.
half a cat and a half a person, right?
Why do we have these half and half things?
Jesus, I don't know.
Let's discuss it during the break.
All right.
We're gonna have a song called "Two Crows" by Richard Ruane and Beth Duquette. Here we go.
Fell asleep by Alder Creek and heard two crows begin to speak. By Alder Creek I heard two crows conversing. The smaller two, the larger said, the sleeper here will soon be dead in the sunshine in the middle of the day. A mile upstream the wild geese swam in a pond made by an earthen dam. The wild geese swam in a pond now close to bursting. That earthen dam is giving way. The sleeper he will drown today in the sunshine in the middle of the day. Drowned he'll be while sleeping fast. Drowned his churning waters pass. While sleeping he'll be taken by the river, washed away till washed to ground. And we shall follow where he's bound in the sunshine in the middle of the day. We shall feast upon him well. Oh, hear the waters start to swell. Oh, we shall feast, the wall of waters coming. The dam is burst, the water's near to sweep away the sleeper here in the sunshine in the middle of the day. The roar, I ran from that creek's deadly shore as rushing waters tried to overtake me. As they barely passed me by, I saw two crows rise in the sky in the sunshine in the middle of the day. Now crows remember every wrong, they don't forget though years have gone now. Every wrong, those real and those imagined. Sometimes on a branch I see two crows still waiting patiently in the sunshine in the middle of the day. I fell asleep by Alder Creek and heard two crows begin to speak in the sunshine in the middle of the day.
Somebody got in trouble?
Oh, I was just suggesting the kids could play cards. But Eli, when he was a page last month, or just a couple weeks ago, whenever it was, they start out letting the pages play cards during downtime. But at some point during each session, playing cards gets banned because the kids just go hog wild and start getting a little too.
Start to bet.
Yep. Put the wagers down. I don't know why they get banned, but why do they get banned, Eli?
Because everyone's too loud, apparently.
Ah.
That was not me, though.
The loud card players.
Super feisty card playing. Yeah. Anyway.
Okay, Personal Growth Friday.
Oh, goody.
Yeah. Okay, I have 2 topics.
Okay.
You can pick which one.
Okay.
Taxes.
Oh my God. We had to file an extension. I'm so embarrassed.
Okay, so that's maybe you want to talk about taxes. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or anxiety.
Got that too. I don't know. You pick.
All right.
Do you have any specifics about these 2 things?
Well, yeah.
just
I actually have a tip. I have a nice tip for people with anxiety because I do
So don't give people
from it.
tips about taxes. It's a little late for that. Although I'll probably need tips. I think.
Yeah.
Let's see. When you file an extension, that means I still have to do them by like what? June?
I don't know. I'm the last person to ask about how to.
I hate that John is actually holding a public office right now. We had to file an extension on our taxes. But like I literally do not know how to do the taxes. I don't know how to do it.
Right. It's too complicated
It's
for people
super
who are
complicated.
self-employed. That's why I've had a bookkeeper that I can't afford to keep.
John
I
has
just
only been
dismissed her.
doing them himself the last couple years. And it was so complicated this year. And he has been so busy. I could not tackle them myself. And he has not had a moment to do that. So we had no choice.
Yeah, it's pretty terrible. And all that, the donations I got this year from Kickstarter.
Yeah. Are those taxable?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Why do they call it a donation, we might ask?
don't know.
It's all income. So it's really just you're pre-selling something, basically, and you have to pay for it. But anyway, so that's taxes. Anxiety. Okay, I have a great tip, which I realized, for some reason I realized that when you feel that sense of anxiety, that perhaps you should consider that anxiety is like a river that's separate from us. You know what I'm saying?
So?
Like if you imagine it as a river of sort of energy that is washing by, like it's washing by, and sometimes it kind of rolls over you and engulfs you, but you can separate from it. It's not you. It's not like self-generated.
Well, how do you separate? What is your life? What is your life vest here? What is your separation techniques?
First of all, you just have to kind of imagine it that way.
Oh,
because
it's not in you. It's something that's not part of you.
Yeah, because as soon as I kind of made that realization, and it felt right to me, I was able to see it as a river, like a river that was separate than me. And then I didn't have to feel like it was, when something's inside you, it's particularly insidious.
Yes, that's true.
It's hard to stamp out something that's in your head or in your body, but if it's actually separate from you,
that's true.
Then you sort of have some boundary integrity that you can make decisions about.
Build a dam.
Yeah, and the first starts just by kind of conceptualizing it, and then you can go from there.
Okay, that's a nice growth tip.
Yeah, and also,
did rats eat your sweater? What happened to this one?
I know this. I don't know. It's kind of this is wool. This is cashmere, so it probably did get eaten. I mean, I didn't see it happening, and I just noticed this.
You should darn it with some bright purple thread. Would look super cool.
That would be cool. I'm gonna get all my pants fixed.
Does darn just mean like you just put lots of little stitches in all over the place? Is that what darning is? Well, if you darn a sock, you take this wooden ball and you put your sock over it. And right, but is there some sort of stitching technique, or you just like stitch lots of yarn and make the hole covered up?
No, I think it's based on what fairies do.
Fairies?
Yeah, fairy darning. That's why they call it darning.
Darning needles.
Well, like, who darn? Fairy darners.
No,
darners.
Darning needles are they those miniature dragonflies? Right?
Possibly.
And the ones with the pointy tails.
There's also damselflies, which are like also... Are damselflies just the girl version of dragonflies?
I don't know. I just never want to say no because you never know for sure. So I don't say no. Some
right.
people say no a lot as if they're authoritative about everything. And I always say when I think, like when I think it might be a no, I'll say, I don't know.
Oh, so you still got your no
I
in
think
there, but you can add I don't.
I think it's a lot different though because it leaves the door open for new information. If you always say no, 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 you've got a pretty closed mind.
That's true, Kristina.
And facts change. Even facts change. There is no such thing as a fact.
Okay.
Well, that's a bigger discussion, but
There's a few facts.
It's a fact that, it's a fact that I ate breakfast this morning. It's like a fact that
right.
that's not going to change.
No, that's true for your reality.
That's different, though.
Maybe it will in the future, though, when time machines are invented.
There you go. That's it. That's it.
Like, as if our show could
But he
get
didn't-
any more nutty. We
I
have to
know.
add, like, extra nuts to
Well,
our show.
Ira didn't want to know about it, but Eli was thinking about it. He was thinking ahead to time travel.
True.
What starts with...
I don't think the time travel is ever going to happen, because if it was going to happen, then somebody would have visited us already.
That's what I told you. I told you that.
But how do you know they didn't? How do you know they don't?
They would have said so.
No, not necessarily. You could be completely ignorant to what's going on.
Well, there are people
Admit
all over
it.
the place that say they're time travelers, but actually I think they just have a mental illness.
Well, that's pretty convenient, isn't it?
Yes, it
disregard
is.
like 50% of our
Like,
population.
maybe we're locking all these people up in my grandpa's nursing home who are
Yeah.
like actual scientists who time traveled, and they're really upset right now.
Exactly my point. Yeah, I think there's a big problem with shutting people up for mental problems. Because they're actually real stuff going on that's not mental. It's just a different perception. So if we had more respect for people with these kinds of experiences, we wouldn't have to, call them.
Excuse me.
Call
I
them
just saw this video
aberrant.
about in Holland. Speaking of Holland, they have this like
I have a
place
friend in Holland.
that's called Dementia Land or Dementia Town or something like
I
that.
saw that.
Yeah, but it was
That's
kind
cool,
of
kind of.
they hadn't really thought it out that well, because they said we'll let everyone have their independence and go into town if they want, but we put these little GPS tracking devices on them so that we check on them every 3 minutes and we can find them. But it was kind of dumb because they just handed them the little GPS units to put in their pocket. If I was a crazy Dementia Town lady, I would just take the little GPS tracker and I would put it in the toilet, or I would, who knows? Like, if they don't know what it is, they're gonna be like, what's this thing? I don't want to put wrist or those jail bracelets on them or whatever, but unless it's stuck to their person, if you hand somebody something and think that that's a safe way to track someone with dementia.
Consider this, that a person with dementia often will forget that there's something in their pocket.
Oh, maybe they're banking on that. Mm-hmm. Okay, I guess.
What if they didn't know it was there? They could just lose it.
Well, I just thought there was some room for error there.
Well, I think in the first few days of the experiment, they probably figured a lot of this stuff out.
That's true.
I would expect that your troubleshooting here is
I also
probably
thought
something they've done.
The other thing where I saw some room for error was their naming of it in the first place. Like, why would you call something Dementia Town?
Did they actually call it that?
Yeah, I think they did. And that
No,
just felt...
I don't think they did.
I think they did,
I think you're
Kristina.
making up some facts.
No, I think that's what it was
You think it's a fact?
I think so. I'll check later. But why wouldn't they call it something nice, like, meadow fields or something? Sorry, that's totally redundant. But whatever, something,
I know.
silver birches or whatever you call old people places. They always manage to squeeze silver into
That's
old
'cause of
people.
great hair.
I know, but I find it a little
It's
weird.
kinda-
It's like,
kinda
come
silly.
on.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway.
Well, what's the
Silver
one?
birches is still
What's
better than Dementia Town.
Morgan what?
Morgan Orchards.
Morgan Orchards didn't do that.
Yeah,
It's
what's
not
that even
silver,
mean? What's that
silver
mean? What is
Morgan
that supposed
Orchard,
to
because there
mean?
used to be probably an orchard there, Morgan's Orchard. I would guess that that's what that was.
Well, Morgan, because the Morgan horse in Randolph.
It's not the person who donated money for it, because sometimes
Nope. Although, let's
When
see,
you-
my grandmother's building is called Strode. And maybe that is someone who donated. I don't really know. See, I don't sometimes pay
that's
attention
usually
to these things.
usually the case. Yeah.
But anyway.
Well, We're almost done with our show today.
Whoa. Is it going to rain? I thought it was going to be nice. It was so sunny earlier. We wanted to take a little hike.
I got a new edger.
What?
From England. I ordered it from England, and it came so fast. I was so excited.
I feel like you just got a new edger last year.
I did a couple years ago, but it had a wooden handle, and the top of it has come loose. So I'm gonna fix it, but in the meantime, I got one that actually has a solid steel, but it's lightweight because the English know how to make garden tools.
Yes,
so I couldn't find a comparable product in the United States.
They also know how to make hedgehogs. We don't seem to have those types of hedgehogs here. Feels so inadequate. Our hedgehogs are actually really spiky, and they hurt you, and they get in dogs' noses.
What, you think they're different there?
Hedgehogs and porcupines are different.
Mrs. Periwinkle.
Those ones are all just cute. I mean, you never hear about English people, their dogs and cats getting into, their
But this isn't
hedgehogs.
porcupines.
I know, but aren't they the kind of the same thing?
No.
Well, aren't hedgehogs just miniature porcupines?
No.
I don't know then. Do we have hedgehogs here?
You need to go back to school.
I know. But do we have hedgehogs?
You need a long winter.
Our climate is not that different from England, so why don't we have hedgehogs?
If you could take the whole winter off to
I bet we do. I didn't know we had possums until recently, and apparently everybody has possums.
I think you need some time off.
I do need time off.
So you can study the things that you need to study and research, and that you can write your books. Ugh. So next winter, we're going to try to figure that out.
Next winter will be the same as this winter. Because they voted John in for 2 damn years.
No, let's start thinking ahead to make it different. Okay.
I'm not saying they should vote John out. I'm just saying, give a girl a break here.
I know. But you have a whole year to think about it.
Yeah.
Really, start thinking now.
To fester. I have
a
whole year to fester
about
it.
9 months to think about it. Ugh. Or maybe 6 months. Let's go with 6 months. Let's get this solved in 6 months' time.
All right.
That's how I want to approach my life. Is I'm going to start to solve some of those problems.
Before the show is over. I'm pretty sure I feel that like little tickle in the back of my nose.
Yeah, that's okay.
But it's not like to an extreme point yet.
Okay.
So maybe I can ward it off.
Okay. Well, we're going to say goodbye for today and hello for next week when it comes.
Thank you, sponsors and underwriters, whom we forgot to mention.
Yes, but we love them. Or we have no feeling about them, but... Right?
We're not allowed to have feelings about them.
Yeah.
We do personally, but we can't publicly.
Yeah. We feel neutral when we speak of them. But inside, our heart is open to them.
So many rules.
Okay, so this last song, is called Bitter Root Prayer by Robert Bryant. And hopefully we can hear the whole thing.
Yeah.
So thanks for...
Join us again next week.
Yeah.
I'm still hoping, praying you'll be alright. I keep wishing without saying you'll reach that light. I'll rest knowing you're finding some sweet peace of mind, like the love that I'm holding in this heart of mine, like the love that I'm holding in this heart of mine.